This call is.
Oh, okay, so let me share my screen here. Okay, so just as a quick intro, today's meetup has to do with Buzz, which is a new tool, which is similar to, I would say, Slack. It's a collaborative tool in which like team members can collaborate, have discussions, and collaborate on work. Very similar to Slack, but the difference is that they made Buzz to be they made Buzz in such a way that it's great to include AI agents as team members. You know, so those AI agents can not only participate in the discussions, but also take part of the actual work being done. So let me open the URL for it. So Buzz, I think it's buzz.xyz. And so this is the website here. Like the first thing that it's going to ask you to do is to install the client. So you can install either the desktop client or the mobile app. I have both installed, but today I'm going to be using the desktop app. And then here it has a small description of of some default agents that they already configured. Those agents, they are not special. It's the same types of agents everyone has been working with before. Basically, you can give a name to, they have a wizard set up, right? Or you can give the name, you can name your agents, and then you can give them a system prompt, right? So those default ones that they have when you install Buzz on your system, that's all they did. They picked some icons, give them a name, and give them a system prompt so that you can interact with them. And the way that those agents actually function when you run them locally is that you have to connect your harness of choice. So if I go to agents, the harnesses that work with Buzz by default are the ones listed here, and it's possible also to set up some custom ones, right? So you can set up your Claude code or open code cursor. Me, I'm using Codex, right? And basically, let's go back here. Those are the same default agents. And so let's say if I pick this one, if I go to the settings, like you see, it's nothing but a name assigned to the agent and then a system prompt. And then if you go to the advanced, you can see that I'm using the Codex harness by default. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how Buzz is set up. And then once you have it, let me go back here. Once you have it, you can see that you have different channels, you know, just like Slack. You know, you can talk to the agents like I've been doing here, or you can even have direct messages to any one of the agents. You know, so the agents usually can do pretty much everything that a user can do into this whole Buzz workspace. So, for example, you see that I have a welcome channel. Notice how I have an agent went ahead and created this channel, you know, with a welcome message for new users and stuff, right? And you can see that the agent that did that is not part of the default tree. This is a custom agent that I set up. So let's take a look at it. So if I go to edits, you can see I'll name this one Clanky because for those that have been attending the UbntTH Hive meetups and are part of the community, they may remember that I think a year or two back, we had a couple of sessions where in which we implemented a Discord bot for the community that will interact with the members and stuff like that. So I recycled that idea, and then at the time we called that bot the intern, the Ubuntu Tech Hive intern. So Clanky here is also the intern, and I'm using the same image that I used then. And you can see that the system prompt literally says the same thing. You are an intern at the Ubuntu Tech Hive, like community, and then you will assist with various tasks all throughout your internship and so on and so on. Right? Does it make sense? And it's also set up to use the codex harness. One thing to notice in particular for codex is that like earlier this morning, I was running into some issues that were related to the parallelism, right? So if you happen to use codex with Buzz, this is the right setting to have to set the parallelism to 1. One reason for it is that OpenAI, the provider, for inference, they switch to WebSockets. So when there is more than one request going, it creates problems because the WebSocket inference, like is attached to some state on the OpenAI side. So to avoid headaches, it's simpler to set it to 1. And there are additional things that are set up. For any agent that you have in your Buzz, you can configure some environment variables that they have access to. So you can see here that I gave it access to GitHub, I gave it access to Discord, and I gave it access to Dino Deploy. This is where we are going to publish the work that we're gonna be doing today during the session. Okay, so that's about it for the intro. Afis, do you still need help? Do you want to share your screen?
Sure. Yep. Let me share that.
So let me stop sharing.
Oh, wait. It says that I'm sharing. Let me see. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the link right here. So I'm just accept. And then when I click on invite, nothing happens here. So when I try to do it on Safari, Safari tells me that.
Have you installed the desktop app?
Not yet.
Oh, you have to, because this is a special link that triggers the app.
Got you.
Yeah. So if you don't have the app, it's not gonna do anything.
Download that. I think no, I haven't created one yet. Does it matter which provider I use?
No, I think you can go back and click the link to see if it helps you skip that part.
Okay.
Yeah, so continue.
Yeah, it's still limited.
Okay. So, okay, so you have to do it then. So
I'm just gonna go with OpenAI for now.
Okay.
All right. 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can get the token.
Okay. Okay, so in the meantime, let me show something else. So I'm sharing my screen again. Okay, so Buzz itself is built on top of a new protocol. I mean, it's been there for a few years, but that is one of the very first, like actual use case that is actually useful that I see. So the protocol is called Nostr. So it's this one. So it's a protocol for a truly censorship resistant alternative to Twitter that has a chance of working, blah, blah, blah. So this protocol is made by, was initiated with, I think, Jack Dorsey, the previous owner of Twitter, right? I think he and his team wanted to come up with a protocol in which users will be able to, set up their own relays and have full control of their data, So the the fact that we are using Buzz right now with this installation that I described earlier, we are using an existing relay, which is managed by Block, which is one of the companies of Jack Dorsey. But it's very much possible to set up your own relay on your own infrastructure. I've done some of it earlier this morning. We can probably like go back to it and take a look at it. So for example, this is the URL of the relay that I set up this morning. So let's see, where was I? Yeah, so this is pretty much the protocol. Let me share the link.
So wait, Buzz itself doesn't belong to Jack Dorsey. It's just a protocol.
No, Buzz is using the protocol.
Oh, I thought he actually also created Buzz.
Yes, they created Buzz as well.
Oh, okay.
They created both. So people have been using the Nostr protocol to build other types of apps, But since this is an open protocol, they just decided for this use case of Buzz to implement Buzz on top of the same protocol.
Gotcha. Question: which model are you?
Which model am I using?
Yeah.
I'm using, I set up the agents with, I think, GPT 5.6 Luna,
Okay.
extra high. Yeah, you can see it at the bottom here. I did it so that the agents respond more quickly. They spend less time thinking and more time acting. So
Okay. And you say extra for the effort?
yeah, so that they still do some thinking, because otherwise, if it's too low, if the thinking effort is too low, then they're pretty dumb, or they are dumber, I should say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if you want, I can even go back in the history to show you. Basically, okay. So this is me. This is the custom agent, and then I was talking to it, right? And then uh, so basically the today's events, the description, the image, as well as the fact of publishing the event, it was all done by Clanky. This time around, I did not write anything by myself. So I was just telling it uh, how to go and how to go about it and make it happen. So here we were just discussing like how we would structure today's topic, and it was kind of like suggesting, like a script for the agenda of the meeting. But after a while, let me see, after a while, it's you can see that the conversation got heated, because all this time I was using the GPT Sol 5.6 extra high, and it was doing so much thinking that it started to go outside of my requirements, so it became very frustrating.
Yeah.
So that's how I turned around and switched it back up to something dumber. Yeah. Okay, so here is the exact meeting description that it created and that I approved. And you can see how it even came up with the event description. So I found this one a little bit I don't know how to describe it. A little bit scary, because all it had to work with is the Ubuntu site, and also the style of the images that we have been using, so, and then it came up with this, so currently my hair grew a little bit. I'm wearing glasses, and this is the same color of my coffee cup. And that's my laptop. I was like, how did it know? So, anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been doing here. And for today's and also, like, as part of the direct conversation, I had it create this channel, right? Because I went back and forth with it with Penky to come up with a good idea of something we can build together during this session. And the idea is the link curation blog. right? So the idea behind it is that, as you know, we have a Discord channel with a bunch of links, and some of the links at times, by just glancing at the channel, it's hard to understand why this link is interesting, because there's not always like a description, to go along with it. So the idea between the for the link curation blog is that Clanky will go back to the Discord channel, collect all of the links, and then it will write a blog post for each link, inside the markdown file. Okay. And and then those markdown files will be the content of the link curation blog. And then through the discussion inside this channel, we're gonna have it actually build the blog engine for that, and go all the way to publishing it. So some basic setup was already done. So you can see this here, but based on the API keys that I showed you earlier, it went ahead and created this GitHub repository. It also set up the GitHub actions that you can see here, and since it included like an index file, that index file has been published to Dino deploy, and then this is what it looks like. So basically, it got the pipeline ready, and it's just waiting for us to, like start giving directions for doing the work. So, yeah. So are you ready, Hafiz?
Yeah, I'm just loading my OpenAI account with some credits, but I've created the account and everything.
Yeah, I don't think you should need that, because one thing that is very interesting with Buzz is that I can come here and configure the agents. So let's say I'm gonna modify this one. So when I click this, if I can find it, okay, you can see it has this option, who can send instructions, right? So once people join the relay and the channels, right, currently I have it set up to only respond to me, but I can set it up to respond to anyone into the channel, or specific people that I choose. So it means that, as part of collaboration, not everyone involved has to have their own models running. Anyone in the team or the relay administrator can make an agent available to everyone, and then people can just talk to it. Does it make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, let me share my screen again. Sorry.
Mhm.
How to do it is just I'm just gonna share my screen because I was trying to share window and then it's not aligning with my press. So it shows
Okay.
the window, but when I try to click OK, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
No, and buzz. There we go.
Okay. Also, yeah, it's kind of blurry. I don't know why.
Okay.
So, okay, so you already joined the community?
I haven't. I clicked on. Oh, let me actually try to click on the link again and see.
Okay.
Just here we go.
Okay, so I should be able to see you.
Welcome everyone. It's the channel right here, right?
Yeah, can you say something? Can you type something or introduce yourself? Okay, I see you typing now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think you're good to go. And okay, so
So come again, see the last message at the bottom. It
Oh,
just
that.
how come, but I can't see it.
Uh. Oh, I think it's because of the agent mentioned. I don't know how to make this one go away.
Mhm.
Ah, yeah, it might be buggy because they are literally updating this app every day.
Yeah.
That's probably a bug. It's a brand new app this day. Yeah. Okay, so let me add you to. Actually, let me share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell Clinky we have oh, we have new can't type. We have new members. Add them all to the what's a link curation. Well, it's not working. Okay. So whenever you see the eyes and the, I mean, this bubble here, this is just to acknowledge right away that it saw the message and then it's typing. And sure enough, you can see the activities below. Or I can click this and then it shows on the side.
Got it.
And also, I think it's checking. It should be able to find you.
I think this tool could be a pretty good note taker and meeting collaborator where you can just, for example, like start a meeting or something with people, and then
Mhm.
on the side it would just take notes, summarize, make sure that it handles all the
Yeah.
more nitty gritty.
You know, oh, so that's why sometimes the frustration starts to build. You give instructions, it does something else.
Yep.
Uh, let's see. And just show me. See, so you see, it acknowledges right away that it saw the message. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we have somebody here. Okay, so it's taking a while. I don't know why it's so slow. Okay, so it responded. Oh, also, like, there's one thing I noticed. Whenever you type a message, you can see that it rarely replies, by just putting another message in the same channel, right? It always replies to the specific message. I think I'm guessing they made it so that you can continue different conversations all at the same time. So instead of being just like one giant conversation and then force you to go and create, additional ones to clutter everything, they just reply directly to the specific top level message you type, you know. So
So
that,
I watched
that
the
that's why
video.
you can stack them. Hmm?
Yeah, I watched a video around that, which technically pretty much has to do with the protocol itself,
Mhm.
because every chat is a unique, what do you call that? A unique chain, right? It's a unique embedding in the chain. So that's why now when you want to reference all the chat, then you have to like literally tell it to now use all of it. I'm trying to in the block. There we go. Every single message is like a
Mhm.
blockchain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's not finding it this time, then I'm gonna do it manually. Okay. So you see, it found you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me confirm. They all updates to. Okay. So Afis, can you confirm that you have access to the link curation blog?
Okay, let me see.
Mhm.
I do. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see it here. So I'll switch to the channel.
Okay.
Then I can see it here. Okay, so now since we have to do the work now, I'm gonna change the configuration for the agents so that it responds to you as well and not just me. Let's see. Okay, so I'll change this and do select. And Okay, and then this is you, so I'm adding you, and then save changes. Okay. Yeah, can you confirm that you can see the oh,
Sure. Sorry, I keep unmuting myself in the computer instead of the phone.
oh yeah, no worries. Do you want to send a message to Clanky? Maybe
Mm,
to ask for more details about the project?
Sure. So do I do it from the link curated blog or do I do it from the welcome everyone?
From the link curation blog, since this is
Okay.
the channel dedicated to the work.
Gotcha. All right. I just typed something.
Yeah, I think you have to use the @ sign, otherwise it's not gonna respond.
Oh. So which agent should I use?
Use Clanky because this is the one that has access to all the API keys.
Yeah, here is the thing though. Let me share my screen real quick so you can see what's going on.
Okay.
So when I use the @ sign, I see
Mm-hmm.
you, see myself, I see Mumble, Fees, and Honey. I don't see Clinky.
Oh, hold on. Did I restart it? Let me check. Uh, okay, let me share again.
Okay.
I think I forgot to do something. So go to edit, advanced. Oh, that is strange. You should have restarted. Restarted, thank you. Can you try again?
Yep. Let me see. Nope, I still don't see it.
Okay, so hold on. Let me change it again, and I'm just gonna make it available to anyone to make it simpler. So to anyone, save changes, then restart. Okay, how about now?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. Still don't see it.
Okay. So then they might have a bug then. Okay. So I'm gonna force it to respond to you.
Okay, now I see it doing something.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I haven't made it part of the channel. Let me do it. The channel yourself, because you said that you're able to see the other agents, right?
Right.
Okay. Oh, it says it's already part of the channel.
Why don't you ask it to actually do it himself? Just tell it that currently I am not able to see it in the mention using the @ sign.
Okay.
What's going on?
Let's see. Yeah, so now you understand why I had to bring it back down to GPT's 5.6 Luna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for Sol it was so slow. I would just wait and wait and wait and wait.
Yeah. But right now it's actually throwing an error. If you go to the welcome page, you're gonna see
Uh-huh.
that it's throwing an error about like the coda.
About the quota.
Yeah.
Oh, are you using your own keys? Because there shouldn't be a quota.
Ah,
Yeah,
I did add my thing.
yeah, you're probably running.
Let
Don't
me
burn your tokens, because the whole point is so that we just share. We just share this one.
let me stop that real quick. Oh, nice. It actually allows you to use OpenAI, like to use your own local models as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're gonna expand that vision. Let me go to the settings to show everyone. Okay, so in the settings, you can see agents that we discussed, right? Where you can bring your own harness. Like I said before, I'm using Codex. But one thing you can do is that you can set up compute. And for now, compute by default they let you pick any of those open models, and then when you enable it, it downloads the model locally and runs it, right? And then since this is compute, like other users on the relay can also use it. So the cool thing is that if we do not use the default relay that block uses, so that we are forced to use our own computers as compute, uh, it's possible to set up like a beefy enough VM in the cloud, and then turn on this option, so that the relay itself will have an open source model running inside of it, and then all of the members can just interact with it.
Gotcha.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they even have an option for Kubernetes that I saw. I forgot where I saw it. Several times. Okay. Oh, they even have more. Like you can set up with OpenClaw and all that stuff. Anyway, like I'm pretty sure I saw a different option for Kubernetes, but I can't remember exactly where I saw it. But anyway, it's possible to have it run the compute into a Kubernetes cluster of your choice. That way you can schedule pods as it needs, to perform the work and stuff. So yeah. So what's the status, Afis? Are you able to interact with it now or no?
It did respond. So it did give me a response in the thread. So this project turns share link into source. Oh, wait, you're asking if I'm able to interact with Cranky. So yeah, it did respond, but I still can't mention it. Like I can't use the at sign to address to it.
Can use the outside. This is strange because I don't. That's the only option I see.
Let me try on my end.
Okay.
Am I not able to mention speed directly?
Mhm. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm gonna tell it to start working. So I'm gonna tell it to go ahead and start retrieving links and create blog posts of each specific link while what is Bumble?
I just try to ask it to why the thing didn't work, why I can't access Cranky.
Oh, okay. Let me modify this one then. I want to make sure that it responds to you as well. Yeah, because you see, it's by default it's me, so I'm just gonna set them all to respond to everyone. No, select anyone. So changes. Let me check again. So this one is already anyone. So I'm changing this one as well. Respond to anyone. And let's see, anyone.
Honest, this tool, the place where I see this tool actually providing a lot of value is you run a meeting
Mm-hmm.
or like you run like what do you call those stuff, like those lives, and then you set up this thing, you invite everybody, and then now you don't have to worry about responding to people. You're just doing the meeting while your agents are
Right.
handling the responses.
Right, exactly. And it has additional features, even like voice and stuff like that, you know. So okay, so you want to try again talking to Bumble or any of the other agents that you can mention. They should be able to respond to you now.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so it saw your message.
But it's not thinking about it. It just saw it.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, let me at least prompt Clanky to start the work here. and start retrieving links. And
Oh, wait. I saw something. Do you see my screen?
No, hold on. Let me stop sharing.
Okay. So if you go to the channel itself,
Mm-hmm.
you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. If you go to the channel itself, at the top, you have add people. You can just click on this and then you will see it there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't think I did that. Okay. So let me do it. Let me share again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in here, I can do add people. Okay. 12 minutes ago. And it says working. What is this? I think it's already added.
It says that it is the owner.
Well, it says need setup on this device. What? Let me refresh this. It says Pombo stopped. Oh, Afis, I think, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see the confusion. I think you're talking to the agents on your machine, not the ones here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's cheat. Because I was having problems earlier, right? So let me mention it here. Some people really having trouble interacting with like custom agents. Like, okay, how can they get it? I already figured it and all of the other agents to respond to anyone. Yeah, so the cheat here is that this is my ChatGPT Codex app, and since Buzz is installed on my machine itself, Buzz has a CLI. So what it's going to do, it's gonna use the CLI for Buzz and then poke around and figure out, if there's a way to make it happen.
Gotcha.
Incorrection. Okay, it says the live configuration contradicts the UI setting. Okay. Yeah, so you see, even though the UI was changed, it says that on disk, it still responds to owner only. That's part of the issue I was having earlier this morning.
Got it.
Yeah, let's see if it resolves it. Okay, so in the meantime, let me tell Clinky to start the work because we spent a lot of time just doing setup. So go ahead and start retrieving links and create the blog post out of each specific link. Make sure to embed those links as shortcode. Then publish the publish each blog post on completion to the GitHub repo under the posts folder. Starts from the very first link in Discord. So, like I said, like I showed earlier, Clinky already has the API keys to access Discord, the API keys to access GitHub, and the API keys to access Dino deploy, where the app will be deployed. So I can show it again. So in the agent configuration, it's possible to add some environment variables. So you can see the 3 environment variables that I mentioned are here. Right? So that's how it's able to. Yeah, so that's how it's able to interact with each of those systems. And you can see that it's currently doing the work. Okay, so let's see if it fixed it. Oh, it wants me to reopen Buzz. Okay, let's, I mean, we're gonna let this one finish creating the blog post, and then I'll restart Buzz itself. Uh, so, so the repo is here. So let me share the link. So the repo is here, and then it's going to publish over here. Okay, so you can see this mouse over here, right? I think this is Clanky browsing Discord right now. So
Which one?
you see this tab?
Oh, the screen.
Yeah, it's using the Chrome Dev Tools to access my browser and then go through the links.
Okay, pretty much open claw.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat, huh?
I was starting to be a hater when I heard about it and then I saw it and I'm like, this is all to keep human to human interaction far from each other and then just having us talk to robots.
Right.
Then I found a use case for it and I'm like, okay, this could definitely help during seminars.
Yeah.
You just set them up and then you still have your seminar going and you don't have to worry because sometimes those questions are really moving fast.
Right.
So having, every question with a response, would help, right? Because now it's like a block and then nobody wants to care about what everybody else is saying if you only ask your question,
Right.
you know.
Right. Yeah, and also for if when you, since you mentioned seminar, like I see a scenario where a lot of the simple questions during the presentation, you don't want the speaker to be interrupted every time, right? So for simple questions, as long as the agents have access to the material, they can just answer.
Exactly. Yep.
People don't have to wait all the way to the end before they can ask questions.
Yep. And then because you can also use it to summarize,
Yeah.
even if somebody did not join early in the meeting, they can
Mm-hmm.
just see like the progress and the summary of the meeting.
Yeah.
It can definitely be a neat tool.
Mm-hmm. Check this out here. You see, like introducing Kitesurf, Cloudflare, Kitesurf, blah blah blah, Meetup, YouTube, and so on, right? Those things look those things look exactly like what I what I have on Discord. So yeah, like for example, this is the link about Kitesurf, and then it's preceded by Meetup and so on and so on. So it's going through all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So now it's creating the post folder. So if I go to the GitHub repo, if I refresh, okay, it's still creating it. So yeah, so I think it's doing that using the GitHub API. You see, like it has some curl comments. So yeah. The cool thing also is that this can happen on the go. Like for example, in the when I use one of the reasons why I use Codex is that the from the mobile ChatGPT app, I can interact with Codex and have it do some work. So I can be out running some errands and stuff. And as long as my computer is running, I can send Codex some results some messages to continue what I was doing for work, right?
Yeah.
But in the case of Buzz, it's even more flexible because Buzz itself can be set up as a relay on a virtual machine. So it never shuts down pretty much, And since Buzz also comes as a mobile application, the same thing can happen, and it can work like 24/7. So, okay, so assistant post, let me check. Oh, okay, not yet. Did it create a branch? No, still the same branch. Oh, and I forgot to show you. Like on the local machine, Buzz is using this folder. It's using this folder to that's where it writes all of its files. like when you plan something and everything, it goes into the plans folder and so on and so on. So if I run the tree command, you can see the details, right? So it has its own agents.md agents.md file. This is where it archives the conversations into a SQLite database. And okay, those are, let me see, brackets. I forgot what this is. I'm not sure what this is, but this is the part that does the text to speech. And I guess those are different voices that you can use. And the outbox, this is more for, I think, when you create artifacts. Like for example, today's meeting, today's event, the illustration, I think it's one of those files. I think it's this one. And let me see. Knowledge navigator demo. I think this one, I think this one is related to the work that it's doing right now. Okay, yeah, exactly. You see this? Those are the blog posts that it's creating, right? And you can recognize that index file. It's the same index file here. Okay, so you see it pushed the post folder, and then there are 10 blog posts for now. I think he mentioned it here somewhere. I can see it. But anyway, it started pushing the blog posts. So yeah, so we can look at a few. Okay, so this is the markdown for it. And then we have the links. And this is another markdown file. And then the links, right? And then this is the description of what the link is about, pretty much. So, Afis, do you have any suggestion on the tech stack we should use for the blog?
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking of using Svelte.js. But I mean, there are other options, right? We can use Hugo. Basically, any static site generator will do.
Okay. Wrong button again.
Yeah, you should type it up in the chat. I can say that Svelte kits for the blog engine. What do you think? And there, what are some other great options? Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna tell it to create more posts. Cover of all of the links in this call. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much it's able to work and chew gum at the same time, And okay, so what are some other options? So SvelteKit is a strong fit, and let's see. It also suggests Astro, Fresh, and Luma. Okay, so should we try Fresh?
So, when I watched the video, right, one thing that the guy did, instead of relying on OpenAI models for all of it, he actually, researched and found out which models are better for, like, which provider models are better for what task, right? And then he just set them up that way instead of like the same from the same provider.
Yeah. That's why that's why they have the agents here, right? It's possible to set up multiple agents that are being backed by different LLMs, and then using Buzz, they can be orchestrated to perform the work.
Correct. Yeah.
I think I've seen a demo where someone used Fees as the most powerful model, and then both Honey and Bumble were powered by less powerful models. And basically, he directed Fees to to plan the work that will be executed by both Honey and Bumble. And then whenever they are done with any of the tasks, Fizz will go back and review it, give feedback until they get it right, before it eventually reports back to him that, hey, the work was completed. So it's possible to do that. Yeah. But for today's setup, I just wanted to keep it simple, and then I'll just set up one pretty much.
Gotcha. Well, Terra is definitely like a middle ground that
Mm-hmm.
I've been using for like complex tasks, but not too complex. To be honest, I feel like using Soul is like a waste of compute power
Mm-hmm.
unless you're really like trying to do something super big. So I usually just use Terra with like between medium, high, and extra high.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the time I use Soul 5.6 extra high. I mean, Soul extra high, but it's usually when I have longer tasks to run. Quite a few times I had tasks running for like a couple of days, sometimes even 3 days nonstop. So,
Yeah. And then have you noticed that when you're using those models, like the higher it is, the less you can see the thinking? He actually thinks in the background a lot. And then whatever you see is literally like maybe like one third of what it he actually did on the background. So I think it's more of like they're just using like some loops and some guardrails and some agent configs to
mhm,
do it. I don't think it's just the model that is much smarter than the other models. I think in the background they could actually be running the same model or different configurations.
right.
Yeah.
No, what's for sure, the harness used makes a difference. Because, for example, when I use Codex directly from the Codex app, it's not very good at design, But by just switching it to, um, actually, I don't know if I shared it last time, but I found a way to use GPT Soul from inside the Cloud Code harness, and when I use that setup, all of a sudden it becomes good at design. So it does make a difference. What? It's telling me that it only says 10. Okay. There are hundreds of in why stop at 10? Yeah, I think it's being lazy over here. Okay. So in here, I'm gonna tell it to use, let's use fresh. So fresh is this one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. So if I type deno fresh, it's this one. This is this framework over here. No. It's fresh is being built uh, by the same team behind deno and deno deploy. So yeah, it's just a web framework similar to Next.js and many, many, many others. It's React based, but it's optimized to run on Deno. So let's use Fresh. Okay, let's use Fresh. Go and set it up in the repo. Okay, so it's gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, see now it says, oh, you're right. My initial view showed only the recent loaded window. You see how it's lazy, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't want to do the work, so it pretends that it's done. See now it's scrolling, right? So I'm not scrolling, it's the one doing it. See, I'm
Not,
even moving my mouse, right? Now it's gonna grab all of the links. I did not even know that it was possible to open Discord in the browser. I don't know how it did that.
looks like it stopped.
Yeah, let's see what it's doing. Oh, it's not done. It's still thinking. Okay, maybe it paused. Yeah, I think it's gonna write a few more blog posts and then continue from there. So this one, the location is, so the location is here. So it's repos link. Yeah. So I forgot my, there's a command on Linux. Okay, so it's still browsing. Okay, so it resumed collecting the links. Patch commands Linux.
Tell. That's what you're looking for. Tell.
No. Watch. So while true. Okay, so this is the one. Yeah, I have VI in my, so I can type the comments directly. I can edit the comments.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so now it should be able to do this. Right, so it's gonna execute that same command in a loop so that whenever it adds a new blog post, we're gonna see it. Okay, let's close this. Okay, still going. Okay, let's check the repo to see if it created fresh. Not yet. Okay, let me remind it. Okay, so I think it's still working on this one. And we should see it here as well.
How many tokens are you burning through right now?
I have no idea. I have the subscription, so I don't look at tokens.
What do you mean you have the subscription? So you can use it as a subscription rather than actually setting up the API
Yeah.
to use it again?
Yeah, I'm using my Codex subscription. So I don't know if it shows how many tokens are being used. Is there usage?
Yeah, whether you're gonna see. Yeah, you already hit your weekly limit, 99. Oh no, actually 99 left.
You know, one funny thing is that with the Codex models, like the new GPT models, they are very big, right? But it's crazy how token efficient they are. You know,
Yeah.
because just a few months back, even when I was using Cloud Code or Codex even earlier this month, earlier this year, if I was, really pushing it like in a day, I could almost burn all of my weekly tokens or my weekly allowance. But now even when I push them hard, I still can reach it. And the funny thing is that they keep giving me those reset buttons, those free resets. I've used them only once.
Got you. Yeah, because the smarter the
It's super
model,
efficient. Yeah.
yeah, the smarter the model, the better it gets, right? And then they use a lot of tool use, so it allows them to cut through the junk instead of like reading like 10,000 lines, for example, right?
Right.
It can just navigate to like where to look for, which
Mhm.
is I still don't have. I have the Codex Max, but not Codex Cloud, but Codex I still use the regular thing. I got in when they were running the promo where it was like $19 or something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got in at that time, so I'm not paying the full price. But I haven't hit it anyway. Like, and then I use the reset button as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I encourage you like to switch to Codex. Let me see.
So I will tell you the reason why I never actually went for the Codex Max
Mhm.
is I was building an AI tool. I was
Mhm.
actually creating the AI right model, like
Right.
not just fine tuning or anything.
Right.
And then I will tell Codex what to do, and then it keeps just looping through the same bull crap. And then I got pissed off, and then I just dropped it because for all that I might as well just code it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when was that?
That was 3 months ago.
Oh yeah. So you use a completely different model then.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I don't want to risk it because now I don't want it to destroy everything I've done so far.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. For me, like I think when did I switch to Codex? I think I switched to Codex at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it was January or something. Yeah, I think that's when I completely shut down uh, Cloud Code. The main reason why I switched away is not even about model quality or anything like that. The first reason is that I don't always want to use the harness. sometimes I have other harnesses that I want to use or other tools from which I want to use my subscription. And with Cloud Code and Entropic, they block it.
Yeah.
And if somehow you find a way to make it happen and they discover what you did, they can just ban you, you know. Now that was the first thing. And then the second thing is that uh after I switched, Codex started becoming better, to the point that they pretty much caught up to what Entropic is able to do, you know. And the last thing I was missing from Cloud Code was the design ability, right? And for that, this is the hack that I found. So you see, when I run this, I have
Mhm.
the proxy, right? This proxy basically turns the API calls from the Cloud Code harness into GPT API calls. So then if I start it in this project, right? What was the command again? I think it's harness, right? And then I say like, who are you? This is Cloud Code, right?
Mhm.
Who are you? You're gonna see what it responds. Says I'm Cloud Code, blah blah blah. You should say the model as well. Oh, it didn't. Which model are you using?
I was gonna say, wait a minute, why is it taking so long? It's compacting.
Yeah, I don't know why it's compacting. It's just a new session.
Maybe you never shut down the previous one. You didn't start a new one.
Okay, so you see, it's using GPT 5.6 Soul. And then that square bracket here, it's just what the tool, the proxy uses to set up the context window. So the 1M is 1 million tokens, right? And you can see that API call came here, right?
Yeah.
So if I use it this way, that's the only way that I actually see the tokens that I'm using.
Mm.
But when I use it from the codex harness, I don't really see it. But and since the allowance is so high that I don't even care. So okay, let's go back and take a look. Oh, see, the watch command shows way more. So now it's got like 60 blog posts, right? And let's close this one. Okay, so it still hasn't created the. You still not created. Okay, you still have not done the work. Okay, so it's acknowledging that it's so. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, I think this one is still working. Materialize. Okay, let's check GitHub. Okay, it hasn't pushed yet. Yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah.
That was the way I imagined it was that it was gonna be much faster, but it's very, very slow. Okay. Maybe since we have some blog posts, let me see if I can.
It's funny how human beings, we took down something that would take months of work into like minutes,
Mhm.
and then we're still complaining that it's slow.
Yeah. Uh, check that will render the down. Currently under the post folder. Remember to push the code. Remember to push the blog post. Yeah, Nafis, you're right, because the more we can do and faster, like after a while we adjust, we get used to it, and then we want something even faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's like we don't even care about how magical this is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think was it last year? Yeah, I think earlier last year. That I think as the first time I actually used an agentic tool, I think it was Cursor, like very early last year. Because at first I really didn't care. To me, I would just work the way I usually do. And then if I have a question, I might open ChatGPT or open Claude, ask my question, get my answer, and then that was it. But I was hearing so many people talking about it. So one day I was curious. I was like, okay, what is this cursor thing? Why are people like all over it? And then when I tried, oh my goodness. I was mind blown. Yeah, but that excitement only lasted like a month, and then I started complaining.
That's why they say it's about the journey. The goal is always disappointing.
Yeah, started complaining, and then very quickly I switched to Cloud Code, and then I used it for most of last year, and then progressively I was getting frustrated. So then I started using both Cloud Code and Codex, you know, and Gemini like always sucked all the way. Uh, I really, really wanted it to be good, but no. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of tools, though. You notice that, right? They've been releasing a lot of useful tools. The
Yep. Yep.
problem is, it's like building beautiful houses on a bad foundation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. There's one tool that they made. What's the name again? I forgot. Let me see. I think if I search for design.md. So oh yeah, this one, Stitch. Have you used Stitch? Have you used this one? Any of you?
Sorry. For Stitch, yeah, I did. I have.
Yeah. How did you find it?
I found it good, but to be honest, I didn't find it different than what all the other MD files do. Like all the other models can do with MD files.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't find it different because it's the switching, right? It's having to switch between coming here, building the design, and then taking it to the like to Codex or like to any IDE, and then now doing it. It's just tedious. That's why I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. So I think this one is a little bit of a skill issue on your part. I have actually never came to Stitch itself to design anything. I
Okay.
I give the it's like either I use the API key. I think I use the API key and the MCP server for Stitch, and
Mm-hmm.
then I give it access to my harness.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or I should say I make it available to my harness. So and then the next thing that they added that I used recently is this file design.md. I think it's a way to wait design.md spec. Is it spec folder? No, this is not the one. Sorry. I think it's this one. So this one is similar to it's the same idea behind the agents.md and stuff, but it applies specifically to design. So you can have like you can use your agents to create that file so that it knows about your specific design tokens, right? Your color scheme and stuff like that. That way, regardless of your stack or which template engine you use, the agent can use this spec in order to like produce better quality results. So I was using the combination of the three. Discuss with the agent to come up with the proper design.md, and then when my harness connects to Stitch, it passes that design.md file to Stitch. And since design.md and Stitch are both from Google, it makes it so that Stitch already understands the design.md, you know. So so it makes it so that when you chat with your agents to design your software, you don't have to waste time describing all of the finest details about how things should be. you know, the agent and the Stitch MCP can derive it directly from the design.md. You know, that way I never even jump to Stitch to do anything.
I see.
So
For me, I usually start with architecture, design, then code. You know what I mean? That's
right.
how I usually do it. That's why, but from the way you're describing it, actually makes more sense to just use the API and then just do it.
Right.
Uh, just too many tools to keep up with at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's a lot of tools. I don't touch them anymore. I just interact with the agent, and then the agent interacts with the tool. Yeah, why is it taking so much time? I just want a simple site. Come on. Oh, okay, the UI is frozen now. Okay. Yeah. So it's doing some work, but it's just slow.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so I can see way more stuff here. I can see a bunch of MD files. Okay, so it created the base project because I can see the vit.config command. I mean, vit.config like configuration file. Deno JSON. Yeah, so this is the project. But did it push to Git? Let's see. Okay, not yet. Hasn't pushed yet to Git. Let's see how many posts. Let's see, I forgot. Okay. Oh, so there's 1100, more than 1100 links, I guess. Okay, so it found 1141 links, so or 42. Yeah, so at least it was able to collect all of the links. So I think now it's gonna go ahead and produce the blog posts and eventually publish. Okay, I see it's formatting the main.ts. Let's see. And guys, feel free to ask questions if you have any, or comment anything if you want. It's almost ready. Oh, so Romeo and Priyanka, is this your first meeting with us?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, welcome. Yeah, so pretty much every other week we go ahead and like pick a subject, or anyone can make a suggestion for a topic to cover, and then we we basically we learn, and the stuff that we learn we come and present, so Aziz and I and Afis are usually the ones, like presenting most of the time, but anyone is very much welcome to suggest a topic and also present, so yeah, so basically that provides an excuse and also an opportunity to learn something new.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm. So how did you guys learn about the group? Is it from Meetup or from the website or anywhere else?
What?
How did you guys learn about this group?
About this cook means?
Yeah, how did you discover the group?
Oh, okay. This group and in the meetup.
In Meetup? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think they need to improve this app a little bit, because usually when using an agent from a regular harness, it's possible to nudge the the agent to do something else, without stopping its current work. But here I don't see it. I don't think it's possible here. Because if it was possible, I would have nudged it to say, hey, you don't need to write all of 100% of the blog post, just push the work, like push the work that you have already done, and then continue working on the rest, But here it's pretty much like focused on finishing everything before it publishes to the repo. Okay. I guess I spoke too fast. Okay, so it published the code, and then we can see the GitHub action is running. So let's go back here. Okay, so this is the GitHub action. Let's see the details. So it's building. Okay, it failed. Oh, the token. Yeah, I can go tell it. The GitHub action failed. What is this link? Let me see. Okay. But the GitHub action failed. It's the blog was not published. Okay, let me check. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's not published. Okay, so while it's doing this, let's check the number of posts. Okay, now we have a whole bunch. Okay, so it published like 858. 258. Okay, let's see. Let's view. Oh, I think I see why it's taking a long time. I can show you. So earlier this morning, I was forced to reduce the level of parallelism back to 1. Because the issue that I was facing is that OpenAI has changed their reference endpoint. But before it used to be like HTTP, plain HTTP with server sent events, so that they could stream the response back to the clients. But recently they switched to a stateful WebSocket, and it makes it so that if you have more than one connection for the same work, it starts to create problems. So I switched it back to 1. Because since Buzz is not affiliated with OpenAI, I don't think this tool knows how to manage more than one WebSocket. I think that's the right answer. Right. Whereas if I was using Codex, I could have had a larger parallelism, and then it would have been able to spawn like sub agents to perform the work. So I think that's why it's running slower. Use earlier the initial version. Okay, let me copy the links. So let me go back here. So edit and deploy. Because now the agent wants to blame me, to complain that I passed it the wrong API key, even though it was able to run successfully before. So I'm just sharing the links to disprove its theory. Yeah, that's the typical answer. You're right. If it's not that, it's you're absolutely right. Now I think it's gonna make the corrections in order to publish it. Yeah, so again, to restate the scenario, the fact that Buzz functions a little bit like Slack, yeah, granted that everyone in the channel or inside this relay can interact with the agents that can do the work, it means that everyone can provide their own inputs. You know, so a developer can be involved, project manager can be involved, project owner, like whoever in the team needs to be aware of the work, can be inside the same channel, right? So this tool has the potential to cut down the turnaround time, you know, because pretty soon here it's gonna deploy the app, right? And let's say the project owner realizes that the colors being used do not match the branding of the company, right? Instead of creating a story to assign to a developer, and then the developer will pick it up, work on it, and then deploy it and all that stuff, they can just come to the channel and say it, and the agents can pick it up and go ahead and do the work. You know, so if the developer was busy with some other responsibilities, you know, they can just review the work later. You know. Okay, so this time it says that the GitHub action is green, so it solved the problem. Let's go back. Okay, indeed, it fixed it. So it means that the app should be deployed. Nope, still the same. Okay. The initial still there. It's very fresh in order to render the blog posts. Let's see, it's gonna correct this. Yeah, let's inspect what it is here. Okay, so that original index.tsx is gone. Let me check the commits. External blog post. Let's see. No, it's not in the commits here. Okay, so we can see that it removed the original index.tsx, but somehow it was never redeployed, which is strange. Yes, let's check the routes. Yeah, so we should be able to see posts. Okay, see this? It went to deno deploy to rerun the thing. So let's close this one, close this one. Okay. There's the what is it saying? Okay, still checking. Yeah, it's taking a long time. Sorry about that, guys. So, when I was prepping, I imagined it would go much faster than this. Let's take a look at the code. Okay, this is for the posts. This is the main first routes. Okay, this one renders the slugs. So the markdown. Render markdown. Okay, so I just pushed. Let's see. It's already done. That's it. Okay, there are build failures. Build failures. Deploy. Oh, we are way over time, but I mean, I'll continue until it's deployed, but it's just to let you know. Let's see again. Okay, so the action should run. Don't fail. Until it is all both in GitHub and deploy. Activities. Okay. So it's checking the I think it found the issue. Okay, so just passing now. Okay, this is progress. So latest. Yeah, let's check here. Okay, it doesn't really show options. So this is a good build. Okay, I think we can try something in the meantime. Okay, so if I try this, no. Nope. The routes. Okay, so slash posts. Okay, let's check this thing. Okay, this is running. I'm gonna try something. Edit. So, yeah, I just upgraded the model to something more powerful because I think it was making mistakes in the way that it's using Fresh. Oh, okay, finally. It's finally serving. Perfect. Okay. So now I can tell it to improve the look and feel using Tailwind CSS and let's say Daisy UI. Okay, so it took a long time, but it finally did it. So the main problem was that for some reason the agents inside Buzz, so Clanky, this agent, it for some reason it made the assumption, it made its own assumption about the fresh web framework from Deno, and the assumptions it made were simply wrong. So it created a bunch of stuff that basically it hallucinated. So instead of actually uh, looking online or searching online to figure out how to use the framework properly, it just didn't. And I was having a hard time, like making it realize that it was wrong. So what I ended up doing is to convince it to use Tanstack, since we had already started um, uh, with TypeScript TSX files. So it did that conversion, and the build started passing. Where is it? Yeah, so the build started passing, and then it was deployed to Deno deploy, and then we ended up with this. But I find the UI to be very plain. It's not very appealing. I'm sure everyone will agree. So for that reason, I asked it to improve it, to improve the look and feel. And I suggested that it uses Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind CSS together with Daisy type Daisy UI. So this is Daisy UI. So Daisy UI is just built on top of Tailwind CSS. So the what I like about it is that they took care of creating a set of themes on top of on top of Tailwind. So that will save us some time for styling everything. So we can check out a few of the themes. Like for example, we can look at Bumblebee or Garden, Forest, Emerald, Cyberpunk, and so on and so on. Retro, Cupcake. Right. So this is what it's doing at the moment. Let's see the activities. Okay, so looks like it pushed some code. Let's take a look. Go back here. Okay, sure enough, the build is in progress. And as I requested, we are seeing Tailwind, both Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI. Okay, the build is still in progress. Okay, almost done. Okay, that's not good. It failed. So it must have changed something. So there are build failures. Okay, it looks like it may have published. I mean, rerun the build. Let's take a look. Yep, sure enough, it's up. So let's refresh. We should see a much better UI and UX. Yes, awesome. So 1100, I mean, a little bit more than 1100 posts. And, oh, fancy, we can load more. And that is it, folks. Let's read the article. Rating source review. Okay, spreading it. So all this took way longer than I expected, but we finally here. We have something. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. We achieved our goal for this topic of today. I will see you guys next time.